Hi, I'm Blake,
And I'm Jamie.
and we're Blamey.
I guess so.
Today we are sharing the 3 books we wish our significant other, or our spouse, or the person right there, or I guess over there, whatever it is. Anyways, wish they would read. Like they have long TBRs, to be reads.
Good, you got the acronym
I always
right.
want to do TDRs.
You do.
Anyways, long to be read lists, and these seem to never make it on those to be read lists. I'm not bitter. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. These are great books that eventually will get read by her.
You're one to talk.
What are you talking about?
My books are great too.
Yeah, and I'll read them way before you read these.
Possibly.
Way before.
We'll see.
Worlds before.
Who
All
knows?
right. Do you want to start, or do you want me to?
You go ahead. I'll
Okay.
pick these up.
All right. Well, starting out, we have Robin Hobbs, The Assassin's Apprentice.
Okay.
Now, this is a fantastic book for a number of reasons. And I'm just going to spoil the ending, so you're really in... Oh, never mind.
Jerk.
Okay, the reason I think you would like this is it has a lot of what I would call Harry Potter-esque themes.
Okay.
Right? You kind of have the orphanage theme. You kind of have the learning a bunch of skills and abilities theme.
Okay.
You get the young love kind of thing going in there. You don't really have quite the chosen one trope, but you definitely have like the questy, I need to figure things out and beat the bad guy as a young kind of person in here. Really, really good. The Assassin's Apprentice isn't the best of Robin Hobb's writings, but I really like the Farseer trilogy, which is this first trilogy. It wasn't until like the second one that really hooked me, but I actually think you'll like this better than I did. Interestingly, a little maybe, I don't mean to offend Robin Hobbers out there, I would put this first book kind of more in the YA category.
You say that like it's a horrible thing.
I mean, I'm just going to leave it there. All right, what do you got?
This one, I think we've talked about on here before. You just need to read it.
Okay, done, sold. You got me. I'll read it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all it took.
I've always meant to read it. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was my book that was sitting on the shelf.
This is not mine.
Yeah, so it's been on my list. I just haven't got around to it.
Just was so pretty. Just narrator, everything about it.
Okay, so give me a little context of what
World War II, cute
Okay.
little girl. She
Okay.
starts out 10, possibly
Okay.
9.
What?
Is being transferred over to her new foster parents who live in Germany. And it's just like it's adventure, but it's also like a little bit, I don't know, just tugs at all your heartstrings.
Oh, okay.
It has a little bit of everything that I love, so
All right. So there's boy wizards.
no. Oh heavens.
Chris Hemsworth.
Stop. Sorry, I shook the whole table.
That's all right. That's what I get for saying Chris Hemsworth here.
Well, this one's, I think, maybe on my TBR list. The fact that you went through it so fast makes me want to read it. But
It was really good.
I think we're 1 for 1. I think we're okay. So.
All right. This one, I'm not convinced she's ever going to read, just because it's this thick.
So
It's not the Bible, don't worry. It is actually thicker than I think any of the Wheel of Time books. This is the Stormlight Archive, and particularly the first one, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. A phenomenal book.
They're all this fat.
Phenomenal book. There are very few books that I have ever skipped work to finish.
Oh, that's that one?
This book was one
The
of them.
first one?
Yep, I was about here, and I looked at it and said, yeah, I'm not going back to work. It was at lunch. And I sent a message in to my coworkers who had read this book and explained, hey, I'm here. I'm not coming back in. And the messages I got back were, we understand. So, yes, really excited. I think you'll love the characters.
Okay.
Lots of wonderful characters in this book.
I've heard about the characters.
Phenomenal scenes. The scenes stick with you really, really well.
Okay.
Just great writing. And Sanderson, we talk about like the waterfall that happens in books, right?
Yeah.
Sanderson, I've discovered, is especially in Stormlight, feels like it's just one perpetual waterfall. Like it's just so action packed that it feels hard to set down.
Okay, so the first one's that good, and they continue to stay good.
So the first and second one are phenomenal. The third one and the fourth one we're at, they struggle a little bit more. I think part of it is because it's mid-series, right? And so you have a lot of like setting up things here, and then you have a lot of the mid-series books that are still both awesome, but you've got to kind of like slog through some things somewhere in the middle, and so yeah, I think the debate's out there. I enjoyed them. I didn't quite have the amazingness, but partly I think a little of the novelty's wearing off too, right?
Yeah.
This is 1,200 pages. Every book is 1,200 pages, and you're ish. And so by the time you're 4 books in, you're almost 5,000 pages into this. You're invested in the world, but that the novelty of what happens in the world is a little bit gone. But I'm really excited to see. It's interesting because this is going to be a 10-book series, but it's
oh my gosh,
but it's 2 5-book stories, and so we're going to get the 5th book of this thing, and then there'll be a gap, and we're not sure how long that gap is. We don't know if the characters will continue.
It's going to be like 3 months.
You're right. Well, but we don't know how long in world years it is. So there's a chance like all of the people in here are dead, and we pick back up in the world.
That makes sense.
We don't really know. Also, a fantastic series for huge twists and turns.
Cool. Is there any romance?
There's plenty of romance inside of here.
Okay, I think I'm not as intimidated as I would have been had I not picked back up Wheel of Time.
So interestingly, I think the counter argument is there may be more words in this than in almost any Wheel of Time book besides potentially Memory of Light. There's less plot threads. That's what makes Wheel of Time so intimidating. Is it has more named characters than any other series that is in mainstream. This is not that there isn't complexity and isn't things going on. There's just less, right? So instead of an ensemble of 30 characters that you all really need to know, there's probably 15 that are, and there's probably 5 that are super, super important.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Great.
Oh. I want you to read Circe.
Okay.
It's just a wild book. Kind of like, you're going to turn the page and you don't know what's going to happen next. It could be the next day or it could be 6 years later. Like, it's just kind of all over the place and kind of bizarre, but really pretty and really...
So Circe didn't seem like it captivated you, though.
It didn't. It took me a while to decide I was going to finish it, and I just kind of plugged away slowly. This was the perfect book to read, like, while I was in between books. Like, I'd read, like, 4 or 5 chapters at a time, but I enjoyed every chapter, and every time I would, like, pick it back up, I knew exactly where I was because it was very memorable. So,
Great.
I think you would actually breeze right through this.
Interesting. Okay. I'll have to give it a read here. This sat on her nightstand for like a year, and I feel like the what do you call those things that mark pages? Bookmarks. The bookmark moved like this slowly through it. So
it wasn't a whole year. It was like 6 months.
Kind of doubting that it's going to be great if that's the case, but I'll read it. We'll see.
Okay. I'm glad.
All right. Okay. Next one. You're never going to read.
Oh,
I don't believe it. Well, this is a phenomenal book, even though I just don't think you're going to like the premise. But Redwall.
Sweetie, that is on my did not finish list.
What? You started Redwall?
I started that like
what?
Right when we got married.
How?
It just was
Where?
I just think the timing was off.
Here's the thing. It's YA towards the kind of younger version of YA. And it's a really good fantasy story. I think some people just have a hard time dealing with it's told with animals. The mouse is a hero and has, they're fighting battles with swords and shields and things like that. But really, really good. Redwall is actually a fairly large series. There's probably like 20 books of them. Really, really good. I would super recommend you get it off your did not finish and try and actually finish it.
Okay.
Are you sure it wasn't whatever the other one was that is in the, which I thought about grabbing and making you read again because it's actually good series. Artemis Fowl. You hated that book, and I think it was great.
I just didn't appreciate it, I think.
Yeah.
Why waste that on me when I'm not going to appreciate it? No?
I mean, because it's good. Good series.
Fine.
You should read it.
The next one is really selfish because I haven't read it yet either. I want you to read it first so you can, like, give me a rundown of what to expect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This one.
Oh. Yeah, I don't want to read that.
I know. I don't know if I do either. I just bought it because I need to own the whole set, right? And that's just how I work.
Well, congratulations, Suzanne Collins. We are buying every book you've ever made as long as it's part of the set.
I've actually heard that people are surprisingly positive about
You know
this
why they're
book.
surprisingly positive? Because the last book sucked.
So it just like brought a breath of fresh air to it again?
No, because if you assume the last book's going to suck, and then you assume, if the last book sucks, you'd assume that the prequel book that is probably a money grab is going to suck bad. Right?
Yeah.
So I bet you it's not a good book, but the expectations are super low. And
Oh.
expectations govern everything in this
Which
regard.
is my fault, or my problem too, because my expectations are really low, but other people have me kind of like...
I don't know, the way you
maybe
just
it's
described
good.
it makes it sound like your expectations are high.
Hmm.
Alright,
I don't know what to think about it.
I guess I will have to read and find out.
Thank you! Let me know.
You're welcome. I will do all of them as soon as you finish one of those, I guess. I was going to say Way of Kings, but that just seems mean.
That's so far down on my list. That's my only problem there.
I know. These are the 3 books we wish our spouse would read or finish, I guess, in Redwall's case. And they would love them if they would just give them a chance.
Yeah, you'll love it. Start it. Let me know.
Well, check out my review of A Songbird in Silence. What is it called? A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, coming soon. Like and subscribe.
See ya.
Bye.